Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is the Bodega Cat Book Club, and we are continuing our reading on Yogananda, Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. And we're going to start with chapter 19 today. Oh, let me move the camera here, just the camera a little bit. That's weird. Okay, here we go. Chapter 19, My Master in Calcutta, appears in Serampore. I am often beset by atheistic doubts, yet a torturing surmise sometimes haunts me. May not untapped soul possibilities exist? Is man not missing his real destiny if he fails to explore them? These remarks of Dijan Babu, my roommate at the Panthi boarding house, were called forth by my invitation that he meet my guru. Sri Yukteswar will invite you into Kriya Yoga, I replied. It calms the dualistic turmoil by a divine inner certainty. That evening, lost my place there. That evening, Dijan accompanied me to the hermitage. In Master's presence, my friend received such spiritual peace that he was soon a constant visitor. The trivial preoccupations of daily life do not satisfy our deepest needs. For wisdom, too, man has native hunger. By Sri Yukteswar's words, Dijan was inspired to try to discover within him a realer self than the shallow ego of a transient incarnation. As Dijan and I were both pursuing the AB course at Serampore College, we got into the habit of walking together to the ashram as soon as classes were over. We would often see Sri Yukteswar standing on his second floor balcony, welcoming our approach with a smile. One afternoon, Kanai, a young hermitage resident, met Dijan and me at the door with disappointing news. Master is not here. He was summoned to Calcutta by an urgent note. The following day, I received a postcard from my guru. I shall leave Calcutta Wednesday morning, he had written. You and Dijan meet me at the 9 a.m. train at Serampore station. About 8:30 on Wednesday evening, a telepathic message from Sri Yukteswar flashed instantly to my mind. I am delayed. Don't meet the 9 o'clock train. I conveyed the latest instructions to Dijan, who was already dressed for departure. You and your intuition, my friend's voice was etched in scorn. I prefer to trust Master's written word. I shrugged my shoulders and seated myself with quiet finality. Muttering angrily, Dijan made for the door and closed it noisily behind him. As the room was rather dark, I moved nearer to a window overlooking the street. The scant sunlight suddenly increased to an intensity brilliancy in which the iron-barred window completely vanished. Against this dazzling background appeared the clearly materialized figure of Sri Yukteswar. Bewildered to the point of shock, I rose from my chair and knelt before him. With my customary gesture of respectful greeting at my guru's feet, I touched his shoes. These were a pair familiar to me, of orange dyed canvas soled with rope. His orchard Swami cloth brushed against me. I instantly felt not only the texture of his robe, but also the gritty surface of the shoes and the pressure of his toes within them. Too much astounded to utter a word, I stood up and gazed at him questioningly. I was pleased that you got my telepathic message. Master's voice was calm, entirely normal. I have now finished my business in Calcutta and shall arrive in Serampore by the 10 o'clock train. As I still stared mutely, Sri Yukteswar went on. This is not an apparition, but my flesh and blood form. I have been divinely commanded to give you this experience, rarely known on earth. Meet me at the station. You and Dijan will see me coming toward you, dressed as I am now. I shall be preceded by a fellow passenger, a little boy carrying a silver jug. The guru placed both hands on my head with a murmured blessing. As he concluded with the words tabi asi, I heard a peculiar rumbling sound. And here's two footnote. Tabe asi means the Bengali goodbye, literally in a hopeful paradox. Then I come. And then the rumbling sound that he talked about was the characteristic sound of dematerialization of bodily atoms. Interesting. Okay. His body began to melt gradually within the piercing light. First, his feet and legs vanished, then his torso and head, like a scroll being rolled up. To the very last, I could feel his fingers resting lightly on my hair. The effulgence faded, nothing remained before me but the barred window and a pale stream of sunlight. I remained in a half stupor, questioning whether I had been the victim, questioning whether I had not been the victim of a hallucination. A crestfallen Dijon soon entered the room. Master was not on the 9 o'clock train or even the 9:30. My friend made his announcement with a slightly apologetic air. Come, I know he will arrive at the 10 o'clock. I took Dijon's hand and rushed him forcibly along with me, heedless of his protests. In about 10 minutes, we entered the station where the train was already puffing to a halt. The whole train is filled with the light of Master's aura. He is there, I exclaimed joyfully. You dream so? Dijon asked mockingly. Let us wait here. I told my friend details of the way in which our guru would approach us. As I finished my description, Sri Yukteswar came into view, wearing the same clothes I had seen a short time earlier. He walked slowly in the wake of a small lad bearing a silver jug. For a moment, a wave of cold fear passed through me. At an incredible strangeness of my experience, I felt the materialistic 20th century world slipping from me. Was I back in the ancient days when Jesus appeared before Peter on the sea? As Sri Yukteswar, a modern yogi Christ, neared the place where Dijon and I were standing speechless, Master smiled at my friend and remarked, I sent you a message too, but you were unable to grasp it. Dijon was silent, but glared at me suspiciously. After we had escorted our guru to his hermitage, my friend and I proceeded towards Serampore College. Dijon halted in the street, indignation streaming from his every pore. So, Master sent me a message, yet you concealed it. I demand an explanation. Can I help it if your mental mirror oscillates with such restlessness that you cannot register our guru's instructions? I retorted. The anger vanished from Dijon's face. I see what you mean, he said ruefully, but please explain how you could know about the child with the jug. By the time I had finished the story of Master's phenomenal experience at the boarding house that morning, my friend and I had reached Serampore College. The account I have just heard of our guru's powers, Dijon said, makes me feel that any university in the world is only a kindergarten. Here's a footnote. Such things have been revealed to me that now all I have written appears in my eyes as of no greater value than straw. So spoke St. Thomas Aquinas, the prince of scholastics, in answer to his secretary's anxious urgings of Summa Theologiae be completed. One day in 1273, during Mass in a Naples church, St. Thomas experienced a profound mystical insight. The glory of divine knowledge so overwhelmed him that henceforth he took no interest in intellectuality. SF. I don't know what that means. Okay, Socrates' words in Plato's Phaedrus. As for me,